Yeah, I'm not seeing it on
That's
YouTube.
stupid. YouTube's such a traitor. YouTube is such a traitor. I was playing like I had a standby screen and everything that I worked really hard on. I was playing some free music.
Now we're live.
Now we're live. There we go. Man, that was dumb. Man, I worked hard on that standby screen and everything. I had some music playing in the background, some nice metal to get everybody pumped while I went and got some coffee. Jeez. What's the point of a go live button in OBS Studio if it doesn't actually make you go live? Anyway. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you guys are just jumping in here, be sure to leave the video a like and share on social media so that you can help get some friends in here. We can all start playing the market together. I'm going to be doing some live day trading. We're going to do a little bit of scalping strategies on the market while we also wait for some of our long plays to go in our favor. Right now, one of the plays that I am looking very closely at is FedEx. FedEx is another, not really a squeeze play, but it is a very bullish play because of a huge gap that has been set up behind it between $155 and $200. I exited on Friday out of my long position and got into a small short hedge position to hedge myself against downside risk. And since that has now broken a bull flag, I actually need to get into a new long position, but I'm waiting for a breakout on this current bull flag that FedEx is trading in. So if you can see, we've got some rising lows, very nice setup with a really strong incline to the upside. So what I'm currently waiting on is to see how the market reacts to this pullback on the 10-minute. I've got a bearish crossover on the MACD, so I'm kind of waiting to see if it comes back down to retest this low here. But I'm really liking this bull pennant. The only problem is that this does look like it's setting up a double top. So if we get rejected here, we might see some pullback in FedEx, and we may need to retest 175 before we can keep moving. So a couple of technicals to be on the lookout for. We've got lower highs on the MACD. We've got lower highs on the RSI. That's this bearish divergence that you see here. And we have another one that's forming here, assuming that FedEx doesn't take out this high on the price chart. We need to see FedEx actually push through 179 and keep running. But if you're in for some calls or you just want to play this for the full gap fill up to $200, remember that our first target is 192 on the stock chart. That puts us about $12 away from our target. The second target is 200. Oh, interesting. It looks like we have a Hell's Trading Floor bogus account trying to impersonate our brand. Oh, that's beautiful. To the individual who is impersonating Hell's Trading Floor, you're banned. Kindly go fuck yourself with a cactus. And I don't expect to see you back. Okay. On with the day. So we've got a few trades that we're looking at right now. As I mentioned, we have FedEx. I'm in a long position for the SPY on this breakout of the bull flag, so I'm just waiting for this to break through the top, and my target is very small, actually. If I get some continuation here, then I'm going to probably average down on this position and add a little bit more on a retest of 399.80. This is just a small scalping strategy that I'm trying out. You can do this on the 5-minute or the 3-minute, but essentially I'm trading these crosses on the MACD, coinciding with these technical patterns. So with each of these technical breakouts or trading on a RSI bounce that is leading into a curl on the MACD, I trade these in order to get an early entry, and then I set my stop loss really, really tight. So what I'm hoping to do is actually to get another fill right here and then go for this same target again. SPY's been making some nice moves, so I'm hoping I get this this average down right here. Let's go check out some of the other stuff that we've got going on. Let's go take a look at the rest of the market. So Netflix has been ripping, just absolutely ripping lately. I'm so shocked to see Netflix is finally going on to fill its gap. I wish that I had added to this position and seen this ahead of time, but I kind of had a late start this morning. So, what can you do? Let's go look elsewhere in the market and see what else we have set up for us. The VIX has been getting kind of bouncy, which is, I think, making a little bit, it's making a lot of traders a bit nervous. We're not seeing the bulls pushing the same way that we were on Friday. I was kind of expecting this. I was expecting the VIX to pop a little bit and see the SPY come back down to retest 390, but we're not getting that pushback. I would have expected to see it first thing in the morning. And we had a little bit of selling in the market, but it only lasted for about the first 10 minutes of the day. And then after, like the first 15 minutes of the day. And then immediately after that, we bounced and we've only set up a double bottom and started running from there. So, yeah, looks like we got the bounce. So I'm going to go ahead and chase this just a little bit. Oh, what the hell? Now it rejects. Whatever. I'm comfortable with my stop loss anyway, so we'll see this bounce off of the 9 moving average. That's a 9 EMA. And we should see the market pop from there. Let's go take a look at some of our other squeeze plays. Oh, actually, I want to catch up with the other big plays that we've got in the market. So BNGO is another one that we're looking at. This one's been shorted pretty heavily. This is Bionanogenomics Incorporated. They are into genetic testing and analysis. They have a good, they've got a good earnings report, I think, coming up here soon. They already reported. So the earnings report was already shown to be extremely bullish. And the reason why I took this trade is because we have this inverse head and shoulders setup, and we did break the neckline, which was right here. So it's currently testing right now, but we've got all these crossovers happening on the daily EMAs. So if you're not familiar with my EMA setup, I have in order from shortest to largest, I have the white 10 period, the blue 20 period, green is the 50, orange is the 100, and red is the 200. So right now we're getting bullish crosses on the daily chart for every single one except for the 200. We're just about to get a crossover on the 10, and the 20 will cross a couple days later, assuming that BNGO still holds its price up here. But so far, we're looking at definitely getting a bullish cross on the 10 and 200. What we want to see is there to be a continuous push to the upside, at least if BNGO holds this area of 280 throughout the rest of this week. Then we'll definitely see a bullish cross, a golden cross of the 50 and the 200 EMA on BNGO. As long as the market keeps holding itself up here for the next few days, and I expect it will, because that CPI report was extremely bullish and it's squeezing a lot of shorts out of their positions. There's still opportunities to scalp the market here and there as a short, but if you're like in massive short positions right now, like all of those guys are scrambling for the exits. We got a couple of other plays that we're also looking at as well. I was discussing this with the Demons of Hell's trading floor just the other day. Beam Global is another one that gapped up today. We've actually been testing areas of previous resistance, and now we're starting to see a little bit of pullback today. So let's see, where are we currently at? Yeah, we're getting that same cup setup on Beam as well. So I was expecting there to be a push to the downside. So I had this short leg setup that I was ready to trade, but didn't take since we just kept pushing. And now the market is looking to carry basically all the small caps with it. And even though we have this bearish divergence on the RSI, we're still in bullish momentum on the MACD price cloud indicator. Garrett Tovey says BNGO is still my biggest play / win ever thanks to HTF last time it had gamma squeezed 2,900%. Holy cow. I think the last time I had something like that happen was, let's see, BBIG. Oh, Mullen. Mullen was the last one. So Beam had news today. Scrap Queen, if you wouldn't mind handing me the news in live stream questions, then I can read that off to the Discord. And since we've got a crowd going here, just a heads up to everybody. Be sure that you do not accept any friend requests from me or anybody claiming to be me, or Hell's Trading Floor or any of the mods. It is our policy never to submit friend requests or DMs. We actually block DMs in the Discord. So unless somebody inside the Discord is speaking to you in the trading floor and says, hey, I need to talk to you privately, is that okay? You should never expect to see unsolicited messages from myself or the mods. Instead, we'll just pull you into a support ticket and talk to you that way. That way, no conversations ever happen outside of the Discord, and you can be sure that you're talking to the real person. Only we have the power to pull you into a support ticket, so that's how you can know that it's us. We're never going to DM people privately. So if that's happening, it's probably someone trying to scam you. We don't want to see anybody get scammed, and thankfully, so far it's not happened yet. We just want to make sure that we avoid that forever and all time. Okay, so Beam Global received 2.9 million Homeland Security order for EV charging systems. Shares rise midday. Wow. All right. So this is great. Beam is a good setup. So this is yet another government contract. So Scrap Queen was the one that brought this to my attention. She's a member of the analyst team, and we were talking about it on the in our Demons meeting that we have every Sunday to prepare for the market. If you're part of Hell's Trading Floor and you're not aware, The demons get to hang out with me every Sunday, where we pick up tickers and start doing analysis ahead of the market, and we set up our trades ahead of time. And Beam was one of the plays that came out of that. So I'm actually looking at what the options market for Beam shows right now. It's still pretty cheap, actually. So it's been on a bit of a run already. We've seen over the last week, Beam has moved, let's see, from peak to trough, 85%. And that's only been about 2.5 trading weeks. Let's see. There's 21 days total, so 3 weeks total. Yeah, that's like three weeks. Yeah, I hope that Biora will be the 1K move as well. I'm actually bullish for their earnings. They're going to be reporting earnings, and there's a rumor of a partnership announcement that would come from Biora before end of Q3, and this is their last month to do it. So in order for them to actually keep that promise, this would be the last opportunity. They haven't announced any major partnerships since the Ionis, the Ionis Pharmaceuticals partnership was announced, and that was announced in Q1. So we're going on 6 months since that's occurred. Now we're waiting on a new partnership announcement, and I would really hope to hear that is actually coming from either Pfizer or AbbVie. Either one would be great candidates. I think that Pfizer would be the most likely, considering that Biora's new DDS drug delivery system has been targeting tofacitinib, which is a Pfizer-developed drug. Let's catch up with BBIG and see where we're currently at. So BBIG is getting a little bit of retracement. You can see that I had this trade set up and did take this trade and took some profit once we pushed 85 cents. The stock is now retracing, so I'm looking for a re-entry here. But literally, I was within 1 penny of the bottom. It's just about perfect. I think I might have missed the best time to get a re-entry because I was waiting for it to touch the 50% retracement level, which would have been around 78 cents. And now we're pushing back to the upside. So I'm going to go ahead and take another entry on this right now. I'm going to play this to 90 cents. We're just going to do some scalps here. Well, not really a scalp, but an over intraday swing. Because we've got bullish momentum on the PPO. I'm a little bit late, obviously. Ideally, my entry would have been way down here, and I would have had my stop about yay. But since we're not in that area anymore, I'm going to set my entry just above the 200 moving average. I'm going to set my stop just below this double bottom. Create one order, and we're going to take we'll do a 200 risk on this, and we'll see if I get a fill here. Take profit would put me at 90 cents. I think I want to modify this just a little bit. Make this a flat 90 cents. And I'll have my entry at a flat 79 cents. Okay. I see Zlever's calling up. Oh, I see. What happened to Excela today? As far as I'm aware, there's no news. Let me go check and just be absolutely sure. There's no news as far as I'm aware. They have earnings that supposedly they delivered today. So that could be the catalyst for this, but I don't see the actual report. So let me go see if I can pull that up. And then I'm going to bring up another play that's being called out on social media. So let me see. Okay, so the gap estimate for Excela was a loss of 67 cents per share and a revenue estimate of 283.36 million. So the question is, did they beat? So they are reporting after hours. I'm not sure what this big volatility spike is all about. I have a feeling that this is probably institutions messing with retail because they know that you're involved in this. I'm not in this play right now. We're getting a big pullback on MACD, so we'll see how the price reacts to on the volume direction candles and the MACD, and I will wait for a cross, but I don't think I'm going to play this. Excela earnings, this feels like a bull trap. Because there's no reason to believe that Excela just suddenly turned around its balance sheet and everything's going fantastically all of a sudden. If anything, Parchata's probably going to spout a bunch of crap and convince a bunch of retailers to jump in again. So I'm really hesitant to play that. All right, we're going to take a look at RAD, which is Rite Aid Corporation. This one's pushing very strongly. See, this one's been on an uptrend. This is why I hesitate with Excela. Excela's pop came out of nowhere. If anything, I expect this to be shorts covering so that they don't have to deal with earnings volatility. That is my assumption of what's going on here with Excela. Rite Aid has been on an uptrend for several weeks. And they've been on a trend of higher lows. As far as I know, they don't have earnings. Yep, not till the week of Christmas. Rite Aid's got a pretty good looking chart. Let me go take a look at their short squeeze chart. Oh yeah. Yeah, there is a gamma squeeze. There's a gamma ramp on Rite Aid. So this actually could be something. Let me look further back. Oh, they're filling a gap. They're already halfway through it. They've got about 4% to go up at 640. They could actually hit their 200 moving average. The entry is a bit late, but let me see what it would actually cost. For December 16th calls, which gives you 30 days. Yeah, it's not bad. It's $90 for a call contract at the money for a $6 strike in Rite Aid expiring December 16th. So let me take another look at the live options data. The gamma ramp is very heavy this week. A lot of calls expiring at $6. But there's a big ramp that shows up in January. And that one's even more bullish. How big has this move been so far? They're up 50%. That's quite a run. They touched outside the price cloud, crossed down here, but they're still in bullish territory on the RSI. This might be a good trade. See, I'm going to set myself up for a lower entry down here and set my support here at 590. That'll be my stop loss. And then, where's my take profit? To make this a really, like a really bullish trade would be way up near the 200 period moving average. But it's doable. I think I want to stay a little bit more conservative though. Set my take profit at 649. That'll give me a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. We'll set my risk at 150. And we'll see if we get the buy. We'll go ahead and set that up there. And I'll catch up with chat, see if you guys have anything that you wanted me to cover. The volume on Ape looks so sus. I haven't seen Ape's chart today. Amir Mahdi is asking for HUDI. Hey, Johnny Utah. Yes, I did cover Biora just a little bit today. I'm bullish for their earnings just because they have speculation that there is there's going to be an announcement of partnership at some point in this quarter. So their earnings call would be an excellent time to do that, especially if they got a new round of funding, which is very likely that they did since they recently sold stock. They may be announcing that they have a new funding partner, like a new venture capital firm. But a more bullish outcome would be them to announce that they are partnering and receiving funding from a pharmaceutical partner. Oh, this stock, look, man, I'm not gonna, this, maybe it was a short squeeze, but honestly, I think that this was just a Chinese pump and dump, and it's probably done. Like, I'm not gonna trade this. I would stay away from this stuff. I never suggest people play with these stocks because once the move's already happened, like it's done. This is over with. Because it was orchestrated by a foreign entity that was basically trying to defraud the market. So this giant like rocket ship that took off into the upper stratosphere and came straight back down. That's not something that you want to get involved in. It's much better to be in be in a stock that you can consistently play to both sides. Like learn how to trade the SPY or learn how to trade Apple, Amazon, Google, one of the banks, any of those. This one, I wouldn't go back to this. It's probably over with. Hey, Dark Side Trader. Yeah, my day is going good. Thanks for asking, man. Would like a little preview on the intro of my BBIG video. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I was trying some different things to see if I could just trying a few different things just to capture people's attention because it seems like my intro is a bit distracting. And not everybody knows what I'm all about with how I do my videos and do my stock analysis. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for the feedback, dude. So I do think that I like Rite Aid. There's especially since this is being called out by CAD. CAD's got some really good plays. Whoops, I was showing the wrong screen. My bad, guys. Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. I thought that I was showing my trading view chart the whole time. It's all good, though. Yeah, you guys are not crazy. I'm not doing so good this morning, I guess. You guys get to see all the metrics. Look at how many of you there are. There's a whole 160 people in the stream. No, that's not what we're here for. We're here to make some money. All right, let's go take a look at the rest of the plays. BNGOs. Let me get back to that one. All right. Yeah, BNGO is getting a good setup going. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna go ahead and take this entry right now. Okay. Got an entry in BNGO. Rite Aid is not wanting to move. What is the volume like on this one on the 5-minute chart? It's very little volume. It's no wonder the price doesn't move very much at a time. Well, we're getting the right push in the direction of my order. So if this, we're getting a bull hammer though. Okay, if this prints an indecision doji, then we're gonna go ahead and get our fill right away. Yeah, we're gonna have to get this filled right away. Okay, we got this bull hammer candle here on the 5-minute chart, so that's why I'm gonna take the trade right now. We're right below VWAP, and we're hovering at the 50-period EMA, so this looks like the low to me. So I'm taking the trade right now to go long in this. Let's go take a look at some of the mega cap stocks and see where they're currently at, because right now I'm still in a trade on the SPY. Did the SPY just oh, did I get my take profit on SPY? I think I did. All right, Apple pulled back nicely back to the 10. Did this hit a fib retracement is my question. Almost. It almost did. I'm going to set an alert on this. And I want to get a position in Apple. If it touches that fib level. I'm not sending that alert to the Discord because this is scalping strategy. This isn't my usual like squeeze plays strategy or anything like that. I want to keep the Discord focused on like big plays rather than like futzing around with my little scalping strategies. Johnson & Johnson is getting set up for another run, so I might add to my position in this one here. I'm going to go set my support up just below that. Let's see. I like the 30 minutes, so I'll set my support there. And I'm going to have a take profit up at 180. I like Johnson & Johnson for a swing because it's a good performing stock. And it's in one of the main defensive sectors. Johnson & Johnson just loves to perform over the long term. It never disappoints. Let me get my fill. Come on. We already saw a pullback to the 200 period moving average, and it got a rejection, and it pushed back up. Now we're going to get a golden cross on the daily chart. So that's a big deal for Johnson & Johnson stock as far as technicals go. Johnson & Johnson is one of the very few stocks in the market that are trading above its 200 daily moving average. So this is big. 395 on the SPY would be great, honestly, because I would love to get an entry for a long position where I know that there will be a profit-taking opportunity. FedEx is disappointing me. We got a little bit of a double top in FedEx, so we're probably going to have to see a retest of support right here at 177.25. So that'll put us just below VWAP. We'll see if FedEx holds up VWAP. If not, then we'll look for a average down on 177.25, and then we'll trade the first cross up on the MACD. I'm loving watching everybody harassing Numbskully. Numbskully, best analyst at Hell's Trading Floor.
Wait, what? Y'all need to leave me alone.
But it's so much fun to harass you, dude.
It's all good. I would never take the title even if it was bequeathed.
Someone's asking what happened to AMC. Doesn't look like anything happened to it, man. It's just consolidating. What do you mean what happened? Or if you're talking about the run, like it's been going for the last couple of days. Yeah, we're back to the battle of 801. We got some nice hidden bullish divergence as well. There's hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. So far, we're following my my expectations pretty well. I was expecting a bit of retracement in AMC. So far, we're not getting it, though. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that it can hold up this support consistently for the next couple days, and we can see AMC push with the market towards the end of the week. I'm sorry, Steve. The I do advocate for setting up like hedges with short positions in case the market retraces, but you know, when it doesn't, if you have the capital for it, it's good to get into a long position for the long term when you know that that's what the overall trajectory is going to be. And then you play those short-term strategies to capture the moves that happen intraday. And I was wrong about the move intraday. I did think that we would get more of a pullback than we did. There was a little bit of pullback, and I myself exited for, it was like a it was like a 5% loss. So not a big deal to me, but you know, it depends on how much capital you're trading with, because I know that trading on the SPY is really expensive. Something else that you could consider doing is trading one of the leveraged ETFs like UPRO and SPXU. UPRO is long on the SPY. SPXU is short on SPY. If you are, if you're not familiar with my video on trading SPY on a budget, I'll go get the link for you. And you can go ahead and take a look at that a little later. There you go. Trading SPY on a budget. So at the moment, actually, you might be right that SPY might have topped, but I think there's still an opportunity for a small scalp here. Let me drop down to the 3-minute chart and see what I can see here. Oh no. Nope, it doesn't look like we're going to make another run for the top. I think instead what we're going to do is we're going to trade down to the VWAP. All right. Let's see how this goes. Are you not going to give me my fill? Come on. Bastard. I knew it. Come on, give me my fill. I still want an entry. You son of a bitch. Entry, please. Thank you. So this is a really tight stop loss. But I like this candle, how it's printing. This is a morning star pattern. And it's coming, it's following a... It's coming after bearish divergence on a bearish crossover. So this consolidation, I expect to continue down to retest VWAP, which is down here at 398. But I'm going to set my take profit here just around the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. This is a really tight stop loss, though. So this isn't necessarily the best strategy. Demonetized. I think I've gone long enough without cursing that YouTube won't notice. Okay. I should have set my entry. I should have set my entry at the 9, but what are you gonna do? Hey, I got my fill on Johnson & Johnson. Very happy about that. BBIG is going without me. And it's about ready to break a ascending wedge pattern. Okay, all right. Fine. BBIG is popping. Hey, trading on a hunch. Any thoughts on an entrance or exit on Mullen, currently holding 20,000 shares with an average of 38 cents? That was a good entry, my dude. I'm not keen on trading Mullen myself, but just since you're just looking for entry and exit, I've spoken several times about my problems with Mullen, and my hesitance to trade them. What I can tell you is that they do have this ascending triangle pattern, which could be a reversal. This can be a reversal pattern. These patterns show up at the bottom of a market when it looks like there's going to be a turnaround, but this triangle extends out quite far. So, at the moment, as long as you maintain price level above this triangle and you don't get a close on the 1 hour below that, that would be a breakout or a breakdown. If this pattern breaks down and you get a closing 1 hour candle outside the bottom, then you need to cut losses as far as technicals go. I don't know the first thing about like the fundamentals on Mullen anymore. I don't follow them. So that's up to you. If you see a fundamental reason to go long at lower price levels, if it does break down, then any re-entry would need to happen at around 22 cents because that's where your support is. You have support at 21 cents here. And if the price holds up support there and you get a bounce off of this price level, then that would be a double bottom pattern. And it would most likely form a harmonic as well. See, we're already forming harmonics on this price chart, and that's putting up targets of 46 and 61 cents. Way up here on the loftier targets is like 88, 89 cents. But the way that I look at this is if you get we've already had 3 tests of the bottom of this triangle, which is very good. If it survives a 4th test and bounces again, then I would enter 31 cents or lower is a good entry for this. Because what you are looking to capitalize on, the move that you're looking to trade if there is a breakout, would be this move here. So if you get a better entry than this, then that would be your trade. Would be to trade up the distance from the breakout, which is the length of the top of the triangle to the base of it. So that's how I got this measuring stick, by the way. And what you'll be looking for is for any breakout above this triangle, and a retest, and then continuation. More than likely what you'll get is a flag and then continuation. And then you take profit above 40 cents. You can try to go for these bigger targets. It's possible. It's a small cap stock. But as far as technicals, that would be my initial target. If you did go for the first target, that would be a nice risk to reward ratio of 3 to 1. especially if you get a better entry. If you decide to get a better entry, you did already get the third bounce off of the ascending triangle, so this can be a good entry, but you have earnings. So earnings is kind of a unknown variable. You don't know how that's going to play out for you. But if you did enter right now, that would be an 11-to-1 risk-reward ratio, which is phenomenal. But that's with a really, really tight stop loss. So anything can happen after earnings get reported tomorrow. I would probably wait until after earnings. Hey, Robert Forth. I think that you may need to adjust your stream settings. My stream is showing I have a great connection, and I'm streaming in 1080p. So check your YouTube settings, hit the gear icon, and adjust your quality. If you're set to auto quality, it's probably going to be in like 360p or something terrible like that. I get that complaint all the time. Any thoughts on ATER? It's been a while since I looked at ATER. As far as I know, they're trading pretty close to the bottom of their chart. Yeah. Nice consolidation channel, though. Very nice consolidation channel. It's range bound, though, between a 20-cent range, and for me, that's not worth trading. The way that I would trade ATER is I would look for either a breakout in one direction or the next. They had a terrible earnings report. Honestly, I'd stay away from it for right now. Set an alert at 125, and if ATER breaks out and closes a day above 125 with volume, with big volume, then you can look for a reversal. But for right now, it's just trading in this sideways channel. It's not worth getting involved in. It's probably better to just set an alert, wait for some interesting stuff to happen, set a volume screener on it. Just look for big changes. Look for big changes in volume, big changes in price action, big changes in short interest if you have Ortex. If you have Ortex, then do that. But as it stands currently, it's not a trade for me. It's not, nothing's happening here. My money is better spent somewhere else. Hey, Jeff Miller. Down 87% in Biora at an average of $2.26 in one account with about 3,000 shares. Average down in another to 87 cents. Would you average down the larger number or keep putting into the smaller? Well, if I wanted to add to my Biora position either way, I would probably average down the larger account that has the higher cost average. The other thing that you can consider doing is if you're not going to sell for a long time, what you can actually do is you can take the loss on the larger account and get a tax refund. You could get a refund on your taxes, but you must not buy any more Biora for the next 90 days. So what you have to do is you have to buy the Biora that you want in one account, and then you need to wait a day, wait actually 2 days for settlement. Then you need to sell the Biora that has the largest loss in the other account. And you report the loss on your taxes, and you'll get a refund for some of it. Probably not all of it. That's a pretty severe cost. That's a pretty severe loss on your cost basis. But yeah, that's something to be aware of. Okay, we got take profit on the SPY. That was a successful trade. Pulled about $335 out of the market. These are the losses that I took earlier today, so we're getting a little bit of that back. Now we're going to look for an entry to the long side once SPY touches VWAP. So we got that cross down, and we don't want to chase this to the downside because it may take a while. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. Always look to the tax code. Definitely check with a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm like what I've just told you. I cannot confirm with you, and I'm not licensed anywhere, so it's not advice. It's just that's what I've learned in my amateur experience doing my own taxes, and yeah. So if you want to do that, I would definitely consult with a tax professional who deals with capital gains. Hey, Jason. Excela's pop had nothing to do with me, man. Someone asked me about it, and I just talked about it. Whatever's going on with Excela has definitely got nothing to do with me. I don't have that kind of pull in the market. Okay. So we traded this Morningstar pattern on the SPY. We chased a little bit, but we still pulled a nice solid $300 out of the market. Our next goal, as I mentioned, should be to capture a switch to the long side at our first opportunity. So I'm going to be looking for a bullish crossover on the MACD. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to ride this to the downside a little bit longer. It's actually a pretty bad scalp. Hey, Apple's retracing nicely. Okay. We'll probably dodge the SPY trade, and we'll look for one of the other 10. We'll look at the other stocks here. See, Apple hit its 9, and now it wants to bounce right away. Let's see. The question is are we getting divergence of any kind? No, we're getting rejection. Okay, interesting. So we're getting lower highs on the MACD, and we set up our first lower high on the price chart. I think this actually might be an opportunity to go short on Apple and capture a trade down to VWAP. This is a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I need to make back a little bit. So let's see, what's my risk? That's $370. That's not terrible. Okay, I'll set my limit order here for the 10. And I'll do 300 to risk. And my price target will be for VWAP. So if I get a fill here, my stop loss is a little bit tight. My stop loss might actually be a bit too tight. Yeah, my stop loss is too tight. I need to adjust this. Okay. All right, so that will lower my risk reward ratio just a little bit. So on an original $300 bet with a slightly bigger stop loss, that'll give me 2.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, which is, it's still good. It's still within my parameters for my risk management strategy. The way I'm looking at this is that the market's had several hot days in a row. We need some pullback. Like, there needs to be some relaxation happening here. We had a nice double bottom on Apple's chart right here. We touched the body of this candle and then bounced immediately. It went on a nice tear from peak to trough, 1.8%. Really can't ask for more than that from Apple. We already had the biggest run after the CPI report hit. Oh man, I never got my fill. Come on, dude. Let me set this at the 20. That breaks my parameters. Come back, Apple. Please. I know you're going down. I just want my fill. I'm going to be patient and just let it happen. If I don't get my fill, then whatever. I guess I don't get my fill. And that'll just have to be the way it is. For those that are wondering what my thesis is for this trade, I've got this this tweezer top here with a double top pattern, and this candle here is a inverted bull hammer, or a indecision doji candle. It's a bearish doji candle actually, but together these create a double top, and this indicates downside risk. Now, I'm also visualizing the potential for a harmonic pattern to show up in the market. And a harmonic could be, like, it can be a cipher or Nen stars, stuff like that. You can Google the terms for, each type. But the idea is that there are these hidden resistance and support lines where the market is going to pull the price towards in order to reload shares for a long side bet. So the way that it would look on this trade in particular is Apple runs to the upside, it comes back down and kind of forms this M with a lower high, and then comes back down with a higher low. And once it reaches this point, it enters into a consolidation channel and then eventually goes back up and takes out the original top. And harmonics are very, very good patterns because they give you great opportunities for excellent swing trades. Well, I think I am going to go for that trade. I'm not getting my fill here at this level, though. So I'm going to have to adjust this. The benefit to this trade is that if I do get this trade, then I will have taken a smaller risk on it. There we go. All right, so upon taking this trade, I can average down my position with another order here. I'll just add $50 to it, just to kind of round out the bet to $300 risk. And that gives me my original risk again, and will increase my risk to reward ratio just a little bit. I'm playing this to the downside with the expectation that Apple is going to need to retest this support one last time. one reason why I believe this is if I look at the hourly chart, I see new lower highs on the MACD and higher highs on the price chart. That tells me that this is overextended and it needs to come back down. We also had some bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart, which is a pretty strong divergence. And since we now have a higher high on the price chart here, if we do not break this high, and if the RSI does not take out the high here, then that will create another bearish divergence on the RSI. Algos will trade that. And if that's the case, then I can extend out my swing all the way down to the 50 EMA on the 1 hour chart, or even the 100 EMA on the 1 hour chart as well. Some different techniques for spotting trades for different time frames. Let's go check out Amazon, because I bet you they're doing something very similar. Yeah, got RSI bearish divergence here also. They're getting a little bit of a pop, so once this momentum ends and I see a bearish crossover on the price cloud oscillator, I bet you I get an entry here at this top if I'm patient. Let's go catch up with FedEx. FedEx looks like it's finally bouncing. It did hold up VWAP. Okay, that's good. That's what we wanted to see. All right, we're going to go ahead and take this trade. And I'm setting my target for FedEx all the way up to 190. That's my original price target. We're doing the full 1% risk to reward ratio, or full 1% portfolio risk for this trade. I've got support right here. I've got my stop loss below the peak of this bull flag, which is acting as support. We've tested it twice and held it. Now we're holding up support again at this price level, and we've had 2 tests at the top of this flag. So on the 3rd, I expect it to break $178 and for FedEx to continue filling its gap. If I see rejection, I'll exit the position, wait out that rejection, and then get another entry back into the position. And I'll just take a scalp on that trade. VIX says we keep dropping. Well, the VIX, remember, the VIX is based on options volatility, not price action in the market. So we do see that we have a lot of very nervous traders. The VIX does make a really great signal, and I do see that it has a inverse head and shoulders on it. So if VIX does end up breaking to the upside, if we break 34.50, then I would be scared. If VIX breaks $34, then I might be scared. But right now, I think that VIX is probably going to range for a while. The bulls are getting greedy, and I do agree with you that the SPY is due to drop more, but we're also overdue for a holiday rally, and now midterms are over, so there's a lot of fear that's now been flushed out of the market. Bears also got destroyed with the CPI report. Okay, I'll go take a look at Weber. So Weber at $7. I like the inverse head and shoulders pattern that's formed on it, but it's still in this consolidation range that it hasn't broken out of. So I would want to see it get out of there. Let me take away the harmonic because that's not helping us here. What you need is volume. What you need is volume or for the price to break and close above the daily 200 moving average. It's tested multiple times, but never broken the daily 200. Earnings have always been a good catalyst, though. I'm willing to bet that earnings from for the period ending in September, this is going to be their summer earnings. This actually could be a good time to buy Weber, because if there is anticipation that they are going to have a good earnings report, this would be the earnings report to beat. I like the chart. A couple of things I see is that we had a breakout on the volume direction candles very early on. We had this pop of volume that saw direction candles breaking out, and now we're kind of consolidating and plateauing, but still moving in a bullish direction. We got a bullish cross on the PPO, and we bounced off of the moving average on the RSI. I like that too. We're ahead of earnings, so if there is going to be a pop, could happen soon. Okay, yeah. I like that setup. I'll go ahead and set up support here because this is an area of support that Weber has traded at consistently for quite a lot. Problem is that we're taking a bad entry and it doesn't meet my risk management strategy, which is a minimum of 2 to 1. So what I'll do instead is I will wait for the better entry down here at 665. I'll create this limit order, set up a $500 risk, and I'll set this order up for a week. That's hilarious. I'm buying 666.66 units with this trade. Does anybody feel like this is fate? This kind of feels like fate.
TD, did you see the story that just got posted?
FedEx drivers got laid off.
Yeah, they're furloughing LTLs.
Interesting. Let's see, do we have that story in the live stream questions? Okay, FedEx freight to furlough employees, LTL demand drops. From Commercial Appeal. FedEx Freight announced that it will furlough an unspecified number of employees to make up for slowing demand. The shipping giant's less than truckload division will continue to offer health benefits and other financial incentives to the furloughed employees, a representative said in an emailed statement. Some eligible employees will be offered permanent transfers to other higher volume markets. Quote, the company will continue to evaluate the environment and bring back furloughed employees as business circumstances allow, the statement said. So this is it's concerning, but also not unexpected. FedEx was already having problems with its drivers. And one of the biggest issues with FedEx has been that they are not getting demand. This was already well known. So the layoffs have been expected to come. This is probably still going to have some bearish implications for the stock, though. I'm going to close this long position, take the loss, switch short, and try to scalp the money back out of the market.
You would consider like LTL would be mid-size and small business shipments. So if those are going down and they have to furlough drivers, that's not good for small and mid-sized businesses.
No, it's not. It would be, it has bigger implications for the broader market than it does for FedEx itself, because FedEx still has large commercial shipping that will continue to make for good business. But this news is going to hit the market hard. When did this story actually get printed? Published at 12:34 Central Time. So this literally just hit in the last 30 minutes. Oh no, that was 2 hours ago. So that hit here at the top of the market. That would explain the push down. Okay. Well, definitely not ideal. Hello, sir. Thank you for the $10. I'm sorry I can't read Arabic, but thank you very much for the $10, man. That'll help pay for all the data that Hell's Trading Floor has to pay for. Let's go back to the charts. Am I still bullish on SST? No, I haven't been bullish on SST for a while. I stopped trading SST after their executives diluted on retail investors yet again. It seems like there's collusion going on between a big Wall Street hedge fund and SST's executive staff, because the institutions are getting huge short positions ahead of the dilution announcement by a full week. So they're getting set up by having this big position where they're ready to dump all of their shares on the market at the same time. They load up a short position, they sell a bunch of covered calls, and they pump the market first, and then they do this big short sale, selling shares and covered calls into the market, and then the announcement came, and I'm like, you know what? That tells me that this thing is just, it's all fraud. So I stepped away from SST. Let's go take another look at SPY. Okay. Okay, we did get that push to the 20 on the 5-minute. That's a nice confirmation, actually. I'll take that trade. We're doing a quick scalp right here. We're going to trade to the 200 period moving average. That's a 1-to-1 scalp, though. That's not very good. That's actually not good at all. I already missed the entry. There's no point. There's no point taking this trade. I missed the entry. Jeez, look at that candle. Holy crap. Yeah, see, if I had gotten the entry as soon as this red candle printed and I had seen that it had tweezer topped, I would have taken the entry right there, and then we could have rode this down. But now the move's already happening. It's too late. No point taking that trade. If anything, probably go long here, actually. See if we can pull a quick $100 out of the market. Nope, gonna keep going down. Okay, we're out. Let it roll down. Let it roll down, and we'll grab an entry to the long side at the bottom of the VWAP range, and we'll ride this back up to the 100. Not the time. Not the time. Not the time. Man, that's upsetting about FedEx, though.
So that news on FedEx that came out, that's what exactly is that doing? That they're possibly furloughing some of their people, or what was that?
They're furloughing their less than truckload contractors, so small freight, anything that's like the small mail trucks for FedEx.
I mean, is this essentially? I mean, this is bad. That's bad enough news for them. That I mean, could this put the damper on things?
Well, FedEx itself, I think, will do just fine. I wouldn't want to be long in it right now.
Right after that news.
Yeah, right after that news, I'm gonna get out and just go short on it for a quick scalp. I do think that it will continue to gap fill over the long term, though. But I want to pull some money back out of the market really quickly because I've taken 3 losing trades today. Because of how I started my day, with the market gapping up instead. It wasn't a huge loss, but I still want that money back. FedEx is going to react poorly to that news, but I don't think that it's going to be enough to stop it from filling its gap. The big news here is that this is going to hurt small businesses overall. So anything that relies on this is a sign that small businesses are not asking for shipping services at all. This is a sign of things to come. That businesses are slowing for all the small businesses, and probably e-commerce as well, because a lot of e-commerce, like Etsy, or think of think of small businesses or individual like e-commerce retailers that are doing most of their business by mailing product on demand to their customers. They rely on FedEx and UPS and U.S. Postal Service to deliver that, and it's always less than truckload. It's always LTL demand. So when FedEx says that LTL demand is dropping, that tells me that small businesses are doing very badly right now, and they're not seeing the demand they're used to. So that is, and if that's enough to cause FedEx to decide it's not worth it, we need to just cut our losses and extend our delivery time schedule for our customers, they're going to have to wait longer for their deliveries to complete because there's not enough business to maintain the staff for all the drivers they do have. And they would rather just have more trucks sitting in parking lots than wasting the fuel and paying the drivers. So FedEx will probably be fine at the end of this. It'll have a little bit of short-term, pain for them. But in the long term, I think that FedEx will be okay. Because what they're doing is necessary in order to cut costs, and they just had their best earnings a couple of months ago Like they had more revenue than they've had in years over the last 2 years with COVID. So FedEx, in terms of like how much money they have, is they're doing insanely well. And if they cut their expenses right now and just slow down ahead of everything else, and predict that they're basically predicting that the market for their business is just going to drop. So their goal now is to reduce cash burn. And if they're doing that early, then that's good for them. Because it's not about making the most money possible for FedEx anymore at this point. It's about slowing down their cash burn so that once things pick up again, they have plenty of cash to resume business and get into, and just no slowdown, no delay. They'll immediately move back into money-making mode once things pick up again. You can see that the market is already responding pretty poorly to that news from FedEx. So I think we made the right call to go short and exit the long positions. It sucks. It's not fun because now we have to wait even longer for that gap fill to happen. But I still do think it will happen. All right, so we're getting a little bit back there. Let's see what SPY is doing. Okay, we're getting a little bit of support here. This is good. It's pretty much what I was waiting for. So let's see. What are you going to do, SPY? Is it going to engulf? Is it not going to engulf? Man, everybody came back from lunch and said, sell everything. Hey, Confidential. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, dude. Do I believe that APE will move with AMC? It probably will to a degree, but I think that AMC is where most of the money is going to flow into. APE is known to be a dilution mechanism, so there's not really an interest there for people to invest in APE. There's no incentive to do it. So more than likely, no. APE's probably not going to move with AMC in that same way. But it will probably see some positive price action if AMC picks up. Okay. I want to go long here, but I'm going to set my risk really tight. I'm going to wait for this fill to happen just below this red candle, about halfway down the green candle's body. Because now I think the bounce is coming. Do I have a moving average here? The only moving average I have here is the 20 EMA on the 1-hour chart. On the daily, we're like way, way extended out. No, I'm going to miss my entry. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Give me my fill. All right. All right, so we got a morning star candle right here. Now it's time for the SPY to bounce and for me to go get my other $500 back out of the market. We're playing a little scalping strategy. Okay, FedEx is in bearish territory. So this is my non-financial advice opinion. If you're still long in FedEx right now, you probably don't want to be. At least for as long as this news is circulating, I would give it a few days. This is the time to exit while you are long and hopefully in the green on FedEx, and wait out the pain from this story circulating. It's already started to make the rounds. It's only about an hour old. So things are going to start to pick up steam, and you'll start to see more selling in FedEx going forward. I would expect for FedEx to hit 175 before the end of the week. CJ Stagger, I'm sorry if I've been missing your requests. Yeah, I can take a look at BlackBerry. That's fine. All right, so let me actually put my clock on. What time is it here? All right, it's 3:23 market time. BlackBerry. It is it is acting sus, as you say. So what I see here, I'm going to use the 1 hour, and I see a Morningstar candle forming here on the 1 hour chart. We've got about 36 minutes left in this hour, and you're about ready to set up a bullish crossover. And you'll notice that on the 1 hour chart, we've been setting up these consistently higher lows on the chart. And the last time it bounced off of the 100 EMA on the 1 hour chart. We didn't get that bounce. We haven't quite got there yet, but I would suspect that if technicals continue to prevail here, BlackBerry could end up bouncing here. Do we have any other harmonics here? We do. Okay, I had suspected. So we have a butterfly harmonic, which formed here. This is basically a giant reversal pattern for a cipher harmonic. Let me see what this channel looks like. Good setup. Good setup on a defensive channel. It had a fake out breakdown on a fake out breakout on a bear flag and reversed, and now I bet you a bunch of shorts are trapped. This is actually a good setup. I like this. Technicals support a move to $5 at the least. It's not like a massive gain. But I can easily see the $5 target, 523, according to that big, the really big daily harmonic, 550 over the course of the rest of the month. And the market's moving in the right direction, like the small caps like BlackBerry, or, well, BlackBerry's a mid cap. But that's actually really good. BlackBerry's been beating on their earnings. BlackBerry launches cyber threat intelligence service to strengthen cyber defenses. That's a good market to get into. That's my favorite market. I love cybersecurity. Markets are neutral. What's the short interest like on BlackBerry? Need to go and take a look at the Ortex data. Give me a few seconds, guys. I'm going to go take a look at Ortex on BlackBerry. You guys can come along for the ride if you want. So it's got a bit of short interest. It's not like it was back in 2020. I'm liking the pop of volume. Let's see, what is security lending volume like? All-time low security lending volume and big volume. That's all buyers. That's good. That's good. That's very good. I like that. Okay. Put to call ratio is really bullish. That's interesting. Excuse me, y'all in the Discord. I'm going to interrupt your chat to take a look at BlackBerry's gamma ramp and see if it has one. It does. It's not huge, though. Let me take a look at live options data. Days to cover are at 6.8. Interesting. We had a whole bunch of shorts enter positions down at the lowest low. Oh, they goofed, man. Shorts goofed. They goofed bad. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, shorts screwed up. They're still borrowing, too. There's a bunch of buyers here, and they're not shorts. The security lending volume yesterday was at an all-time low. The last time it was lower than this was back on the 5th of August of this year. Back when the market was running, just absolutely ripping. Shorts are not interested in taking positions right now. And this was a huge pop of volume. Somebody took big buys here. Interesting. That's very interesting. There's the gamma ramp. That's okay. So the gamma ramp is not for December. It's for January. All right, stand by, guys. I finally got the data that I need, and I'll show it to you in just a second. So there is a gamma ramp on BlackBerry. Shorts still have a lot of ammo to work with, but they goofed really hard. They got into a bad position. I don't think that this is being naked shorted or anything like that. That's not what I'm suggesting. Failures to deliver aren't even that high compared to their float. It's actually like 330,000 failures to deliver for a stock of this size. It's not a lot. They've got more than 568 million shares. So that doesn't even hit 0.1% of their total free float. Okay. So the gamma ramp for Bed Bath & Beyond starts at around $5 and then picks up after $10. And most of these are set on the January 20th expiration for next year. So January 20, 2023, that's where most of these call options expire. And that's why the put to call ratio is so tilted to the bull side. Okay. Hey, James Valdez. Excela move, I think, is shorts probably covering their positions to stay away from the earnings report. I don't think that it really means anything. There was no news. Snookeroo asked, TD, would you read me a bedtime story later? My voice sounds fatherly. You know what? That's very flattering. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I made a mistake, Neil. I said Bed Bath and Beyond. I was talking about BlackBerry. I know I did. I keep mixing up the tickers. I don't know why, but I am talking about BlackBerry. Nate Ross, yes, I can take a look at UAVS. BlackBerry, I want to actually quickly drop this trade here. I think that BlackBerry will probably bounce very near here. You can try to scalp an entry at 475 if you want to try to do that and chase later if it goes in the opposite direction. So far, momentum is still bearish right now, but we have a triple bottom formation right here, so it's really close to the bottom. If it's worth it to you to scalp for 3 more cents, like whatever, go for it. But I think that for me, I'm okay with taking a trade here. So instead, I'm just going to grab it. We'll do 477. I'm going to take profit at 550, and I'm going to set my take profit at the 1 hour 200 daily moving, or a 200 hourly moving average. That's just about perfect for me. Oh, my stop got executed on SPY. Oof. That stop loss hunt candle. Those dirty bastards. Okay. Okay. Don't get too upset, though. There will be better opportunities. We might actually get one sooner rather than later. We're about to get a cross outside of this price cloud oscillator. So once this cross happens, I wait for bullish divergence on the RSI. That's where the price makes a lower low, but RSI makes a higher low. So when I get bullish divergence here on the RSI after this bullish cross happens, that's when I take my trade. Okay? So we'll keep a close eye on the SPY. Maybe we'll get an entry before the close of the day, but I do think that we will get our divergence hopefully in a short while. Somebody was asking about RTX as well. Let me go move over to FedEx is melting. Ooh. Yep. Yeah, it is. I hope everybody got the memo. FedEx is furloughing a bunch of its drivers, so the news is starting to circulate and it's beginning to hit the market. Support's way down here at $35. I'll actually adjust my my take profit to 175. $175 is my price target. Okay. So that does take down my risk to reward ratio a little bit, but really my goal here is just to close a winning trade for something. It doesn't have to be for much. I'm not crazy about getting like the perfect exit on this. In fact, I'm going to put my stop loss in take profit territory so that I know that I'm taking a win on the trade no matter what happens. But I'm going to close this before the end of the day. And I'm going to wait for a bullish reversal on FedEx over the next couple of days. Because I don't think that FedEx is done. I absolutely don't think that it's done. All right, SPY is just continuously melting. So we're staying out of the SPY until we get absolutely positive confirmation of a bullish crossover on this, followed by RSI divergence. And then now I can go take a look at that other ticker, UAVS, for Nate. AG Eagle Aerial Systems. They make drones, don't they? Interesting. So I know you probably don't want to hear this, but this is a penny stock through and through, and there doesn't really seem to be any technical support for a positive move in its near future. All right, it's been trading below $1 for a while. We're going on 206 days. I think that you're pretty close to these guys announcing a reverse split, homie. If their earnings doesn't turn something around and show that they are that they're like very soon going to recover, I would definitely not want to be long in this. It doesn't mean that the company is like dead or bad. I would need to look deeper into it to have even a clue. But as far as technicals go, for one, they're almost at 365 days trading below $1, which means they have to reverse split or they're going to get kicked down to the OTC markets. That's not good. That will be extremely bad. It'll push them down to penny stocks. They won't be trading on a public exchange anymore. As far as the news, they got FAA approval to fly its drones over people. I don't really have anything to go on here. They're a micro float stock. Their market cap is teeny tiny. I don't know what their valuation is. Financially, they're hemorrhaging money. Their earnings are terrible. They have plenty of assets, which is good. They've got a good debt to asset ratio. That's nice. But they're not bringing in business. So they're just losing money on, it looks like, accounts payable and other liabilities. So I don't know what other liabilities they have, but these guys are hemorrhaging money just on accounts payable alone, even without those other liabilities. I have no idea what that is. Total revenue is $5 million, so they're losing twice as much money as they're bringing in before expenses. And their operating expenses dwarf their revenue. So these guys are losing almost 3.5 times as much money as they're making in revenue. The business is slowly in revenue growth. But they need to stop the bleeding right now. They're losing money way too fast. I wouldn't trade these guys. I would stay away from it. If anything, I would probably I would probably join in on the shorts after earnings. Like if they don't report something big with their earnings, then I would expect them to be done with by next year. These guys are losing money so fast. If they don't start turning around their revenue within the next year, they'll be done by 2025 at that cash burn rate. So I'm sorry, that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but I'd rather let you know. Do I hold any calls on BBIG? I do have a position in BBIG, yes. BBIG is definitely one of the stocks that I'm the most bullish on by far. Go ahead and remove this stop because this is one that I'm just going to buy and hold. If it drops, then I'll just average down. I got an entry down here, took profit up here. Now we've retraced, got another entry. Waiting for the next leg up. Oh, hello. Sorry for the random alert. We got 18 minutes left in the market. I'm going to go ahead and take profit on my FedEx short position. I'm not going to hold this into close. What else do I have open right now? I've got my Bed Bath position. My Apple short is doing very well. Let's catch up with the Apple short. That's very good. I don't want to hold this into close either, but I will probably close it right before the bell. What else is going on? Netflix is retracing pretty severely. This was the selling that I was expecting to see first thing in the morning. This is what I was banking on happening first thing in the morning. Thoughts on MMAT and ASTS? Sure, I could take a look at those. I saw ASTS was trending on Reddit. I'll look at MMAT first because that's one everybody is very familiar with. This was looking quite good. So they had a beautiful bull flag that formed on its daily chart. And it ended in a harmonic pattern. This is a bullish harmonic right here for sure. Yep, there it is. Oh, no, this is a bearish one. I see another one right here. This is a harmonic pattern. But for some reason, it's not printing it. I'm not sure why it's not detecting it. Maybe the fib levels are just off, or maybe it's because I have extended trading hours on. But in either case, I like the setup for MMAT. I would want to see it retrace and test this support of 160 before continuing. Maybe 162, but we'll set it at 160. If MMAT retests and holds this level, then you could trade this like a bull flag on the breakout of 170. And it does look like it's setting up for continuation. Oh, whoops, clicked outside of my chart. It does look like it's setting up for continuation. It's got a good look to it. MMAT is still very heavily shorted. But if you are in a long position and you're trading, if you're scalping these trades, this was probably the best spot to take profit because you got MACD turning around and now it's going to go into consolidation, especially if you were holding on to call options. Because call options on this will bleed very quickly. It's very small price action and you're only working with calls and maybe like 50-cent strike increments. But this is a good setup. I've been watching MMAT for the last couple of days, actually, and was kind of toying with the idea of jumping into a position. I need to go back and look at the short interest on it just to see if there is something there. Let me go see if there is some short interest. There's 11% short of the free float. That's actually not bad. There was a big pop in the short interest once the price started climbing like this. Now it's probably getting some pressure. What's the security lending volume like? It's actually at an all-time low. That's strange. So shorts had all of these shares borrowed on loan, and then they entered the short position. They sold them short into the market. So they were borrowing the stocks for several days, accumulating a big borrow position, and then they sold them all at once into the market in the last week when MMAT hit this high. And now they're underwater. So this is actually a really nice setup. Shorts might have goofed here too. We're starting to see like all these conditions where short squeezes could be happening all across the market. It's kind of what I'm waiting for to happen on like on Tesla is another good one. But at the moment, Tesla is breaking down on a bear flag, and Elon's been screwing up a lot lately. So yeah, he's not doing so great. We got this head and shoulders on Tesla. You know what? I'm gonna swing a short position on Tesla going into close today. No, I take that back. I'm not going to do that yet. That's dumb. Tesla gaps up all the time. It's way too choppy. I'd rather trade intraday on Tesla so that I can actually exit my position if I need to. I'll wait for Tesla in the morning. I'll be a patient trader. BBIG still doing okay. Bring back my charts. Sorry, guys. I was looking at, I had you guys staring at Ortex the whole time. That's my bad. We'll take a look at ASTS now. That's AST Space Mobile. So this was a, as I understand it, another Wall Street Bet special. I do pay attention to what's trending on Wall Street Bets, but I don't just follow the crowd. I have to have very specific conditions met to go long on a short squeeze play like this. The fact that this is getting traction on Wall Street Bets, though, does kind of give me some confidence. Because if the entirety of Wall Street Bets gets behind a play like this, then there's really no limit to how much damage they can do to short sellers. Like that can actually hurt. That can hurt shorts really badly. So tell you what, I'm going to set up a initial trade on this. I'm going to look for a pop back to $10. I'm going to set my support. We'll go for a flat 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And we'll start an initial position of 250. And then I'm going to have another order waiting down here. Because I think that they'll probably drop it to this level. Tomorrow. This is where I want my big entry to be at. So if they do drop this, I'll get a better entry. And if not, and it goes straight up, then I'll get a quick take profit, close it as a scalp trade, call it good. But it looks bearish right now, so I'm only getting this small initial position, waiting for pullback, and then get into the real position after that. That's how I'm trading this. That way I don't have to feel the pain of FOMO. But I'm also taking a very methodical approach to my entry. Vanguard supposedly bought 5 million MMAT shares. That would probably be for their ETF. Vanguard does maintain quite a lot of mid-cap and small-cap stock ETFs. So that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, though, because Vanguard rebalances those all the time. it is good for it in the short term, but it doesn't mean necessarily that the stock is due for a long-term uptrend. I rely on the technicals and the fundamental finances for the company before I make that decision. But it is bullish that Vanguard is buying them for one of their ETFs. They're probably doing it for an ETF. SPY retracement forecast. Well, with Tesla setting up to break this bear flag, I'm kind of thinking that the SPY is going to end up retesting 390 after all. I wish that I had not traded on Friday and opened up the short positions on SPY, because we were at support on the 100 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Oh, wait. We were at the 50 EMA on Friday. So I guess I just didn't exit at the right time, because I could have exited here. Ignore that alert. That's a leftover. Sorry, guys. FedEx is having a not so good day. Okay. Yeah, SPY I think will retrace to it's probably going to retrace back down to its 100 moving average at the least on the 15-minute chart. On a 1-hour chart, this 50-period moving average will probably catch up to about here. So 390 would be my target for a short on SPY. I'm not going to trade SPY going into close, because every time I do that, I end up regretting it. So I'm just going to stay out of the SPY, and I'll stay. I'll take the trade in the morning. Netflix, on the other hand, I think I might go short on, because look at this thing. Like, look at how overbought this became. Trade this tweezer top. We have 2 crossovers outside of the price cloud. It's not perfectly according to my strategy, so who knows? I might regret this, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Okay. So I'm in a short position for Netflix now. We're going to swing that overnight. And I need to exit my Apple short. I almost made it to my take profit. Very close to it. Very close to it. Go, baby, go. Is it going to test VWAP? Let's see it. Let's see it. Die, Apple. Don't you bounce here. No. Give me my full take profit. Come on. I know you want to. Do it. Do it. Come on. Give it up. Yeah. All right, we got it. We're out of Apple. Full take profit. Good. That was a good trade.
SPY just broke the 200 EMA.
Is that on the 1 hour or the 5 minute?
On the 5 minute, sir.
Okay. This is the retrace that I was waiting for. Like, this is what I wanted to see from the SPY this morning. Institutions, I guess, assumed everybody else would think the same thing, so they decided to rip it in the opposite direction. Okay, so we're going to look for re-entries to go long in the SPY tomorrow. The FedEx news actually could be having ripples throughout the market right now. If FedEx and logistics are not doing well, then the rest of the market tends to not do well either. So we'll see where we open tomorrow. My forecast, though, will be for the SPY to drop down to 390. You guys can feel free to do what you want. The way I'm looking at the market, though, I think that we'll probably get a little bit more selling pressure early tomorrow, and then maybe we'll see a turnaround in the late afternoon or perhaps Wednesday. That bounce off of 390, though, if SPY touches 390 and nothing else disastrous happens, we're going to bounce. That's a psychologically strong level of support. There goes Apple bouncing off of the bottom of its VWAP ATR band. Let me take a look at Johnson & Johnson really quickly, because for some reason it's selling off still. Okay. I'm going to do something dumb here, and I'm going to average down in my Johnson & Johnson position, and I'm going to drop my stop loss a little bit. I want to be outside of VWAP for this. So I've averaged down and slightly increased my risk on Johnson & Johnson because I want to hold this for a long-term swing. Because Johnson & Johnson is a very defensive sector stock, even if SPY drops, Johnson & Johnson over the long term will continue to trend up, or at least it tends to. So for me, this is a really good risk to reward setup, and I'm okay with taking that risk. Not saying that everybody else should be okay with that, but I am okay with that. I've got this support that Johnson & Johnson had bounced off of here, and it has not revisited the top of its channel yet, and it's only just now started to hit the center of its channel. So I expect there to be some resistance while it switches over. Ding, 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 that's the bell. So despite where Johnson & Johnson is, even though it's really close to my stop loss, I'm still okay with holding this. Because I want to see it bounce off of this moving average and then start challenging this resistance again, which is right here. So we'll see how the market reacts in the morning. We opened up another short position on Netflix. We'll see how that opens tomorrow. I have this take profit here for a 2.25 risk to reward ratio on Netflix for a trade to the downside. Just because it moved so quickly, like it moved up so fast. And that take profit would put me at the 61% fib retracement level. If I don't see Netflix selling off or I see a big burst of strength in it at any point tomorrow or Wednesday, then I'll close that trade, hopefully in profit, and switch long again. But this is a very clear topping formation, a two-top formation for me, with Netflix creating a lower high on the MACD. The RSI has made a new higher high, and the price has made a higher high, but the MACD's diverged. So for me, this tells me that there's going to be at least some retracement. So I'm expecting it to come back down and hit 275. We'll see how it reacts in the morning. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap of any other tickers that you guys would like to see. Let me catch up with chat. Thank you guys, by the way, for tuning into the stream. If you really enjoyed it and you liked seeing how I, trade my various strategies, it was, I'd say it was a pretty neutral day today. I'm still in some trades that are going to have to play out, but most of these swings will take a couple of weeks to play out. All in all, it was a net neutral day. I took a slight loss in the morning because I kind of jumped the gun with SPY on Friday, trading SPY, Dow, and the Qs to the downside, and I ended up having to close that trade for a loss, so that kind of set me back on my targets for today. But it's okay. Like, sometimes you just have those kind of days. So we'll come back at it tomorrow morning. I feel much better about these trades going into Tuesday. And I gotta say, I really like the BNGO setup. Bionanogenomics looks like a really good inverse head and shoulders setup, which you can see playing out on the daily. And we have broken the neckline just about. It's really close. Like, it's really close. So I would like to see this break out above 290 and to see the price move up to around $4 for a take profit. Okay. Hey, Bankster. I covered AMC a little bit. We'll go back to it and take a quick peek. So AMC had a nice move up with the market, and it's moved down towards the end of the day along with the SPY. So that's actually good. That's something that we want to see. I want to see AMC trading with the market because the outlook for the market is bullish in the short term, and I am looking for AMC to make a big push and to squeeze shorts. There's a lot of shorts in the market that didn't pivot right away with the CPI report. A lot of them even doubled down on some of these small cap and mid cap stocks, AMC being one of the biggest ones. So we saw a big surge of short interest hit AMC, BNGO, BBIG. There's a couple of other ones on my watch list. MMAT got a big burst of short interest. Trying to think if there's any others that I had looked at recently. I didn't look at my Carvana setup. Okay. I'm going to come back to this ticker another day because this one has a really unique setup that I want to cover by itself. But I need to do some research on my own before I make that call. But I do like this setup for the record. Carvana's pretty oversold at the moment. So I'll come back with an update once I've had time to do all the research, gather up all of the data on this one. Do I think that PRTY can squeeze? That's Party City, right? So I know that they just had their earnings, but I don't think that they were a squeeze stock. Party City Holdings is trading at around $1. 14% short interest of free float according to Ortex estimates, which is it's pretty big, but shorts won this last battle with earnings, and a lot of them cashed out. So there's no shorts trapped in their positions. Party City's at all-time lows right now. So it's not moving in the right direction to support the thesis for a short squeeze. Yeah, a lot of puts got opened up on them as well. So I'm going to say no on Party City. I was playing their earnings, expecting there to be a surprise, but it ended up being a surprise to the downside. But I took a really small position on it, so it wasn't a huge loss. I was just expecting more volatility to the upside, didn't get it, so took that loss, and it's really for me not the end of the world. But are they a short squeeze? No, and not. I don't think so. At least it doesn't have all of my necessary components for a short squeeze to happen. But what it does have is a ascending triangle on it, which you can see here. You can see how it's setting up these higher lows. So this does match up with an ascending triangle reversal pattern, but this may still be early. We'll have to see how it develops. If it does break out and get past the 1 hour 50 period EMA, then it might end up filling this gap. There's a big gap here that was created on earnings. And if it does re-enter that gap, then yeah, it could get back up to like above 140, which would be a nice that would be a nice trade, but not a short squeeze. Most of the shorts exited their position. A lot of them, like, they got out once it hit 80 cents. They took their profit. I'll keep a close eye on this one, though. There could be potential in it. I'll set some alerts and keep my screener on this one. QS. What is QS? QS is QuantumScape Corporation. This seems familiar to me. They're at all-time lows and their earnings have been horrible. Oh no. Oh no, sir. No. I don't like the look of this one. They're trading in a strong downtrend. There's no reversal in sight. They're still breaking to new lows and they're trading just above all-time lows. So it could be that you want to trade it for volatility, but the way that I would trade this is every single time it touches its 100 period moving average, I would go short on it because it gets rejected by it every time. As soon as it crosses above its 100 period daily EMA, it gets a rejection. All you have to do is look for the first sign of weakness. Probably would be able to find it right here on the 1 hour chart. So if it hits a new high above its 100 period daily moving average, yeah, here you go. This is a perfect way to trade this. See the higher highs on the price chart after it crossed above its 100 period moving average on the daily. You get a lower high on the price cloud oscillator, and you get a lower high or a neutral high, just a flat top on the RSI. Either one of these diverging to the downside would be bearish, and you take that trade as soon as it gets a big rejection candle, just like this one, and just trade it to the downside. Because the way that I look at this is that based on technicals, this stock is not performing well. I don't know anything about their fundamentals, but they're just not looking good. So I wouldn't trade this one to the long side. I would probably go short on this one every time it gets a pop. To be fair, it's at the bottom of its chart, so if there could be a reversal, it could come any day. But even so, I'm not going to try to speculate at where those pops are going to come. I would trade with the trend. Stay trading with the trend. That's the best way to stay profitable. I see somebody, I've seen a lot of people asking about Tough Built Industries. Oh, wow. I guess they had a good earnings. How about that? 100%. Woo! Holy cow. They had a good day. How did I not hear about this one first thing in the morning? That was a good run. Let's see. From peak to trough, 80%. Nice. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to this one. That gap up was nice. Good play. Hey, gotcha, Ghoul. I looked at ATER earlier today, and it still looked like it was just going sideways. The way that I suggested keeping an eye on it would be just to basically stay out of it while it's trading in this range, and then set an alert on its 200 period EMA on the 1 hour chart. If it crosses and closes above its 1 hour EMA on the 200 period hourly EMA, then go back and look at it and then decide if it's a buy. But I'm basically not going to pay attention to it until it gets it crosses that threshold. More than likely, if it does touch this 200 EMA, I would probably short it, wait for it to come back down, then buy at the bottom. Because it'll need to touch this at least a couple more times before it breaks out. The good thing that you're seeing here in the near term is that there is these crosses happening on the 50 and the 100 EMA. So that is good. Sava is Cassava Sciences. I've seen this one go around quite a bit. That had a nice pop. A jump of 28% over the last 3 days. That's actually really good. And you've got a good retracement here. So this is a nice, healthy pullback. So from this low to this high, yeah, touch the 50% retracement. That's a good area to take a buy at. Oh, no, that was the, that's not the 50, that was the 38. Well, it crossed the 38 retracement level. If it had crossed the 50 and then held up support, I definitely would have bought it. But it's looking like a good setup. It definitely needs to hold this 50 period EMA on the 15-minute chart. It had a two-top rejection here. And interestingly enough, I already had... Wait a second, where did that go? Where did that even come from? Okay. For some reason, this trend line like bugged out and was way over here. I would wait out some pullback on Sava and maybe buy it at that 50% retracement level from the low to high on this last move. But you're starting to get like bullish crosses on the PPO, hidden bullish divergence on the RSI indicator. Both very good setups. And you have higher lows, continuous higher lows. Got a low here, got a low here, got a low here. As long as you don't as long as you don't break these lows, then it's in good shape. It really needs to hold up this 50 period EMA on the 15-minute. That's the thing that I would watch. If it starts breaking and closing below that, that's when I would start to get nervous. If it breaks this low, bail out. That's $40 even. If it breaks that low, that's where you should probably take your exit, because there's going to be some selling to come after that. It's an important psychological support. Am I doing the Biora earnings call? That's actually, yeah, I hadn't thought about it because I don't know what my afternoon looks like so far. Nobody's messaged me or asked me to sit in on any extra meetings, so maybe I could. But I definitely need to get some coffee and take a break. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to play a quick ad, grab some coffee, and I will figure out what the Biora earnings call schedule is and see if I can get access to the call. If I can, then I will stay. But my afternoons tend to get pretty busy right around this time, and I start getting asked to like sit in on last minute meetings. So I need to make sure that that doesn't happen before I do. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and play an ad, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Go. Please tell me you finished the day holding the puts.
Okay. So I don't have any calls. So I am free this afternoon. So I think that I can do the Biora call. Now the question is, will I be able to get into it? So let's go see. Biora earnings call. It's happening in 8 minutes. So we're down to the wire. Got to get in this quickly. Let's see what we can do here. Live webcast will be available via investor section of the company website. Here we go. Okay, I think I can get in. Let's see. Nice. Okay, I did get into the Biora earnings call. Beautiful. All right. Let's go see if we can. Okay, there's a corporate presentation. Yay. That's actually really exciting. We got something to talk about. Oh, I just realized that I was muted in the Discord. Sorry, guys. But I am back now. I got into the Biora Therapeutics earnings call. I'm going to have... I don't want to have the music playing in the background because I'm definitely going to get demonetized. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this stream, everybody. And I'm going to create a dedicated live stream just for Biora Therapeutics. Okay? Because I want people to know that we're doing this. All right? So I'm going to close this stream, start up a new one, and we're going to get into the Biora Therapeutics call. Thank you guys so much for jumping into the stream. If you wouldn't mind, on your way out, leave a like. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you can get alerts and you know whenever we go live for a live stream. And if you're not a member of Hell's Trading Floor, please consider it. We've got a really great trading community with great educational resources. And we also provide free data that all the members collectively, all of your money pays for all the data that we have that we all share collectively to go find the best plays. Analyzing options data, options flow, literally everything that you can think of. So consider that. If you want to join, you can join at hellstradingfloor.com, which will give you a link to our Discord at discord.gg/hellstradingfloor. Thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you guys over in the next call.